It is because in your Emacs itself, okay, the kind of equations that we're trying to solve, right, will actually be linear equations such as x plus y equals to 7 and maybe 4x minus y equals to 3. Okay, so this is what we do in Emacs, whereby we have maybe equation 1, equation 2, and then we do our elimination process, for example. Okay, I think looking at these equations, elimination might be easier. So in Emacs, it will be in linear equations. Okay, the difference for Emacs is that one of the equations will actually be a non-linear equation, for example, quadratic, okay, or some other functions involved. Non-linear would be something like a quadratic, okay, or involving other functions. Okay, on page 28. Right, so let's start off by looking at try 1. This is in your textbook, page 28. The solving process does not differ. However, you will find that the elimination method doesn't really work. Okay, so in the question you are told to solve for x and y the simultaneous equations 2x minus y equals to 3 and xy equals to x plus y. Okay, so this is a linear equation. I hope you know what is a linear equation. In case you don't remember what is a linear equation. Okay, a linear equation is something that will be able to produce a line. So actually it follows a y equals mx plus c format. In this case, we can readjust it to a y equals mx plus c format. Okay, so that's what makes it linear. Okay, then this is our non-linear equation. Okay, because of these two variables multiplying with each other, okay, it makes it non-linear. You will never be able to manipulate it to achieve a line like that. Okay, so non-linear, there are many types. Alright, this is just one of the types. Okay, but the way to actually solve it, okay, is actually the same. As I mentioned earlier on, we cannot do our elimination method. Okay, why? Right? So maybe I'll show you very briefly what if you were to do elimination or you attempt to do elimination. Okay, you don't have to copy this down yet. It's just a problematic attempt. Okay, so in case you're thinking of maybe wanting to eliminate away y, okay, what you will do is equation 1, I will multiply by 2 in order to get 4x minus y equals to 6. Right? And then you want to eliminate away the y. Right? So, yeah?
You slow down a bit.
Oh, okay. Slow down because you cannot write like this. Yeah, I want to. You just hear me say can already this one. Yeah, because it's problematic. Yeah. Okay. This one I don't need you to copy. Okay, so from equation 2, we have our x plus 2y equals to xy. I'm just rearranging it like that so that I can see the elimination process. Okay, we want to eliminate away y, so I will have 4x minus 2y plus x plus 2y equals to 6 plus xy, right? Okay, so we find that our 2y gets eliminated, but okay, this y over here doesn't get eliminated. That's why our elimination process doesn't work. Okay, when we have to solve a linear equation with a non-linear equation. Okay, which explains why when you're in Z2, you need to be very familiar with both the substitution method and your elimination method. Okay, so this is just an example to show you why it doesn't work. solving this then. Okay, so with our equation 1 and 2 over here, we have to do our substitution method. Right, and that will be 2x equals to 3 plus y. Okay, yeah. So then after that, y is equals to 2x minus 3. Okay, I make y the subject. Okay? Yeah. Call me and then you say anything. Okay, then we substitute in equation 3 into equation 2. And then we have x times 2x minus 3 equals to x plus 2 times 2x minus 3. Okay? Then we expand it. And we get something quadratic. Okay? So this is our substitution method. We arrive at something quadratic. Then we simplify. Okay, so we get 4x squared minus 8x plus 6 equals to 0. Okay? Following so far? Right? Then after that, from here, okay, maybe you want to actually simplify it further or rather to factorize it, okay, where we can divide by 2 across. Okay, so we will have 2x squared minus 4x plus 3. Right? In this particular case, we cannot factorize the quadratic. Okay? Hang on. Why is it different from y?
It's 2x squared.
Oh, how did I not get a 4? Sorry, thank you. Then I'll get x squared. Okay? So x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals to 0. This one we can factorize. Okay? We achieve x minus 3 times x minus 1 equals to 0. You do your cross method. Okay? If factorizing is problematic for you, I suggest you go and memorize your general formula. Okay, apply your quadratic formula. Okay, for which we get the solutions x equals to 3 or x equals to 1, not forgetting that we need to find out what is the value of y. Okay. Okay, so we get 2 pairs of solution. First pair is x equals to 3 with x equals to 3 with y equals to 3. This is one pair. And then the other pair, okay, is x equals to 1 and y equals to -1. Okay, notice the way I word it in my final answer. N versus all. So the other time round when we were looking at Emacs itself, we have already said that N would mean that both answers must occur together. Okay, whereas all would mean that it's either this pair or this pair. So it's separated out. Okay, so the two separate cases. Okay, so 2 pairs of solution. Okay, have a look at it. See if you have any questions. Yeah. Must you simplify this one? Okay, to get that one, not necessary. If you can factorize over here, you can factorize. Otherwise, you can do your formula. Okay? Yeah. Can you write the x and y coordinates? Okay. Look at the question. Do you think they were asking for a set of coordinates? Yeah, correct. But then they did not ask for a pair of coordinates, and we're not looking at the graph itself. So my answer is no. Okay. Questions? Okay, I hope you can remember your substitution method. Erase the one on top to avoid the confusion. Very good. We move on to try 2. I erase this part here first. Simultaneous equation solving. Okay, so when in Sec 2, when we did our simultaneous equation solving, we learned the substitution method, we learned the elimination method, likewise we also learned the graphical method. Okay, in the graphical method, we know that if I were to draw 2 lines and they intersect at a certain point, that will provide us with the solution. Okay, so in this particular case, to find the coordinates of the points of intersection, essentially, okay, we are trying to solve it algebraically. Okay, not trying to draw a graph over here. We're trying to solve it algebraically by doing our substitution method. Okay, then after that, the solution that we get need to then be expressed as a pair of coordinates. Okay, so that will be our approach to this question. Right? So these are our 2 equations. Doing our substitution method will mean that we substitute 2 into 1 in this case. Because we already see that y is equal to something over here in the second equation, substitute into equation 1. And we arrive at this. So y was substituted by this expression. Okay, and then we simplify it, you get this. Coincidentally, this quadratic equation can be factorized and then we will find the corresponding y values. So we have two pairs of coordinates, 4, 1 and 1 negative 2. In try 3, we have a rectangular picture frame that has an area of 154 cm square and a perimeter of 50 cm. We want to find the dimensions of this picture frame. That means to say we need to find the length as well as the breadth. Okay, so there are two unknowns that we need to find, but then the question did not give us any equations, neither did it define any variable. Okay, so we need to define our variable itself. So we can let x, okay, and y be the length and breadth respectively of the picture frame. Okay. So once I introduce our variables, we have two important pieces of information in the question. One is the area, the other one is the perimeter. Okay. If you have a hard time trying to visualize this, although this one is just a rectangle, okay, you can just draw it out. So our area will be x times y, length times breadth. Achieve our first equation from that. And then for perimeter of a rectangle, it will be 2x plus 2y, and that gives us 50. equation 2. Otherwise, okay, because we know that we have to do our substitution method, you can divide by 2 across the equation such that x plus y is equal to 25. I don't make x or y the subject. In this case, I chose x as a subject. That will give us 25 minus y. Then we substitute equation 3 into equation 1. Okay, such that we have 25 minus y times y equals to 154. Okay, and then we arrive at a quadratic equation. My personal preference is that I like to make the coefficient of your y square or x square as a positive one. That's why I always try to make it positive here. If you are okay with it being negative, okay, then you can bring the 154 to the other side. Up to you. Okay, we're trying to arrive at a quadratic equation. Okay, yeah. Okay, in this case, it might be difficult to realize that it can be factorized. Okay, so some of you may want to do your formula. It could actually be factorized, but with such large numbers, it could be challenging. So we do our formula: minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay. And that would give us, I'll write it up here. Okay. 25 square minus 4. So y is equals to 14 or 11. Okay. So with y equals to 14 or 11, we then find out what is the value of x. I'll continue here. Okay, we will substitute y equals to 14 into our equation 3. That will easily help us find the value of x. Okay, we find that y is equals to 14, x equals to 11. Otherwise, it's the other way around. Okay. Since we want to find the dimensions, that means our length is the one that's longer, so x will be longer, so 14 by 11. But it doesn't matter because the question just wants you to find the dimensions. We just have to conclude that the dimensions of the picture frame are 14 cm by 11 cm. So that's how we describe dimensions. practice now. So enough of hearing me talk. Okay, go to textbook page 31, exercise 2.1, question 4. I know that this question is a little bit strange. They gave it to you as though it is one single equation. I'll help you out a little bit. Okay. From this piece of information, we can re-express it as 2x squared plus xy minus y squared equals to 26. And then the second equation will be this one. Okay, why is it that I chose it to be expressed like that instead of maybe 2x squared plus xy minus y squared equals to 4x minus 2y? While you can use this as one of the equations, I find it challenging because I have to go and simplify it and manipulate. You agree? Okay, so this will be slightly challenging algebraically. I thought that writing it this way is much more straightforward. Okay, so when you do your substitution method with these two equations, find the values of x and y. Okay? Give you about 6 minutes to do it. Okay, so we have to do a lot of algebra over here. I hope that you manipulated equation 2. We shouldn't be manipulating equation 1. You want to realize that if I want to make x the subject or y the subject, it is going to be very challenging. So from equation 2 itself, we will have 4x minus 2y. Okay, 4x equals 26 plus 2y. If you want to make x the subject, okay, so x is equals to 26 plus 2y divided by 4. Okay, this is one option for you to do. Okay, but you realize that having to handle this might be difficult because you get a fraction. Okay, how many of you did this? Make x the subject. Okay, am I right to assume that the rest of you make y the subject? Okay, I think that y the subject seems more manageable, so let's do that up. Okay, so 4x minus 26 equals to y. Okay, so we choose our battles to fight. Alright, we choose our battles. Okay, earlier on when we saw that x is the subject, it becomes very challenging. Okay, or it could potentially be challenging when you want to substitute inside and then expand it. So in this case, with y equals 2x minus 13, you may find that it is more manageable. So this forms our equation 3. Okay, and we get 2x squared plus x times 2x minus 13 minus y squared equals to 26. Yeah.
Shouldn't we put x minus 13 into the
Okay,
y
sorry, I
squared?
forgot the y squared, yeah. Yeah, I forgot that. Okay, so we replace all the y with our y equals to 2x minus 13 and then we expand it. Okay, I am a bit concerned about the way you expand. I want us to take note that for this expansion, although there's a minus outside, can we bring the minus in first? Cannot, okay? So we must expand the square first, then we can bring the minus in. Okay, so 2x squared plus 2x squared minus 13x minus away 4x squared, then 2 times 13 times 2, 26 times 2, 52. Yeah? Huh?
2x minus 13.
2x Same. If I do the wait, wait. Okay, then we simplify it. 4x squared minus 13x minus 4x squared plus 52x minus 169 equals to 26. Okay, x squared can cancel out, right? Yes, it's strange. Is it correct? No, something is missing. It's correct, right? Okay. Try to get one solution. Oh, yeah, one solution. Okay, then minus 13 plus 52, that will be 9, 4, 3, 39. 39x equals to 26 plus 169. Okay. Minus 169 equals to 26. 195. X equals to 195 divided by 39 and we get 5. Okay? And then our y, substitute into equation 3. Y is equals to 5. Okay? Then negative 3. What am I doing? Okay, so x equals to 5 and negative 3. X equals 5, y equals negative 3, so we want to find x and y. Okay? Yeah. Questions? Okay. Let's do one more. Then we're done with this topic. And you're wanted ready for your WA. First WA 3 topics, right? Let's do part I first. Okay, it says that a cylindrical wooden block with base radius RCM and height HCM has a total surface area of 32 pi cm squared. Okay, the faces that you all show me suggest to me that you don't remember what's the formula for cylinder. Okay, so what is a cylinder? This one, okay, total surface area consists of your two circles and then the curved part. Right? Okay, cylinder formula is quite simple to remember. If you can take a piece of paper to roll it up to become a cylinder, right? So your area of circle, I hope you know, pi r square. Okay. So your cylinder rolls up to become this. And when it opens up, the circle circumference, right? And then the height, or rather the breadth of the rectangle is actually the height of the cylinder. So that means that our formula will be 2 pi r squared for the two circles plus 2 pi r circumference of the circle times height. Okay? Because two circles, okay, and then circumference and height. Okay, circumference forms our length of rectangle, and then our height is our breadth of rectangle. Okay, remember that? This formula not given in Emacs, neither is it given in Emacs, huh? Rectangle, because it opens up rectangle. Okay, so now we are told that the total surface area is 32 pi, right? So that means that with the given information, the equation that we go for is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h equals to 32 pi. Take note that we want to show this equation, okay, whereby there's no 2, no pi. And how did that happen? It is because we can divide across the entire equation by 2 pi. And that leaves us with r squared plus rh plus equals to 16 itself. Whereby we divide by 2 pi across. Okay? And that's how we show it. Okay? Questions? Simultaneously for two equations. Okay, so height being 4 cm more than its base radius, that means that if I were to translate this sentence into a mathematical equation, height is, that means equal sign, 4 cm more is base radius. Okay, so we get h equals to 4 plus r. Okay, and that will be our first equation, and r squared plus hr equals to 16 is our second equation. Okay, we don't have to do any manipulation, we can directly jump into substitution. So, substitute 1 into 2. So we have r squared plus 4 plus r equals to 16. So r squared equals to 4r plus r squared equals 16. There will be 2r squared. I shift everything to one side. Divided by 2. I will get this. With a smaller number, I find that it's much easier for us to see whether can it be factored. factorize or not. 8 is 4 times 2. I can integrate onto r. So get r plus 4 times r minus 2. And we find r is negative 4 or r equals to 2. Can r equals to negative 4 be an answer? No, because we're talking about r as a radius. Okay, so reject. Okay. Depending on questions, sometimes they may ask you to write a reason. I'll just write a reason here in red. Because r is radius and cannot be negative.